Vítajte pri počúvaní a sledovaní ďalšej epizódy v podcaste Talkshow s Máriou Bernátovou. Pre tých z vás, ktorí nás počúvajú teraz na podcastových platformách, tak choďte rýchlo na YouTubeový kanál Talkshow s Máriou Bernátovou, pretože si nás budete môcť pozrieť aj v obraze. No a pre tých, ktorí nás už v obraze sledujú, tak len pripomínam, že pokiaľ nechcete prísť o žiaden nový rozhovor, tak si zakliknite odoberať a budete vždy včas informovaní. Predstavte si ženu, ktorá sa prechádza po atlantickom dažďovom pralese. Zrazu začuje hlas. Pozrie sa okolo seba, ale nikoho nevidí. Čo tak na ňu môže prehovárať? Zaujíma vás tento príbeh? Tak ste na správnom mieste a nevypínajte, pretože práve táto dáma sedí so mnou v štúdiu. Šamanka Sandra Epstein. A spolu s ňou Veronika Šablová a ja vám tieto dámy o chvíľočku predstavím. Ale najprv ich medzi nami privítam. Dámy, vítajte. Sandra, hello, welcome.
Hello, my love.
Veronika, vítaj. Ja ešte pre všetkých. Veronika nám bude prekladať. Budete mať možnosť aj titulky si prečítať, takže budete absolútne informovaní o celom obsahu. No a my to budeme tak striedať. Angličtina, slovenčina, pretože Sandra rozpráva anglicky, španielsky, portugalsky, anglicky.
A čiastočný nemecký.
Áno, takže budeme to kombinovať s angličtinou. No a začneme teda príbehom, ktorý určite som naznačila, alebo teraz som naznačila v úvode, no a ten príbeh sa začína v atlantickom dažďovom pralese. Sandra, ako sa stalo to, keď si sa prechádzala po tom pralese a zrazu na teba niečo prehovorilo?
Since my childhood, nature was speaking to me as my parents, my friends. So there was a moment when a friend came to us, to our house in the coast in Brazil, with a very, very deep, strong cancer, and he came to say goodbye, that he would die in 3 months. But the doctors gave him more 3 if he would do chemotherapy. So he arriving, bringing the death for us, made me stop to do everything I was doing, and I dedicated 300% of my time to be with him. So every day we began to walk in beautiful sanctuary, in the Atlantic rainforest, called the Capricorn Farm. A farm that the Danish engineer bought, now I would say 50, 60 years ago. So we were walking every day in this forest, and he is incredible master in history. John was his name. We were walking in the forest while he was telling me the stories of different cultures. So suddenly we were in front of a river, a huge ancestral tree behind us, and an aerial root began to talk to me. And first I did the checklist, so what's happening here? I'm not in a Walt Disney film, where the spoons are dancing, not Indiana Jones episode, but the root was really communicating with me as when I was a child. And at this moment, whales of time began to fall down in front of me, and I was not Sandra anymore. I was a very old woman in the forest, and I could recognize all the plants as part of me. And the root was telling me, wake up. You know me from long time. I can help your friend. I will guide you. Just listen to me. So this was my, I would say, a vortex in awakening to nature. Not that I was sleeping, so I never lost this connection, but it was like, like wake up. Mm-hmm. Time to begin a new chapter.
Can you explain us, alebo teda Veronika, môžeš nám, ak si spomenieš, priblížiť ten tvoj prvý moment, čo to bolo? Myslela si, že si blázon? Čo sa ti dialo v tom momente?
In this specific moment in the forest, it was like a checklist as well, related, is it true? Is it my imagination? Because during the journey of my life, I needed to go through the distinction in frequency between is this wave created by myself, or it's a wave that it's coming through the field, through the connections, coming to me. So this distinction is fundamental for us to develop. How to develop is the point.
A predpokladám, že to je aj to tvoje tajomstvo, ktoré vnášaš do tých esencií, ktoré vlastne v tom pralese, alebo ktoré z toho pralesa prinášaš.
Absolutely, yes. So the essences, they come, so they are co-produced with nature as seeds to help to build the future of the human species.
Ja teraz naznačím v podstate vo veľmi krátkosti to, čo prinášaš a to, čo robíš, ale zaujímať ma budú konkrétne veci. Veronika, asi po troške budeš prekladať, alebo si to skráť, pretože o Araretama ako programe sa vieme dočítať na webových stránkach a nechcem tým strácať čas. Budeme sa baviť o konkrétnejších veciach, aby tento rozhovor pomohol ľuďom v tom, čo si nevedia prečítať a dohľadať na webových stránkach. Sandra, uvažovala si niekedy o tom, prečo si práve ty tá vyvolaná?
Well, who knows?
Tell us, who knows?
Who knows? I don't know. In reality, I never question why they chose me, or, so it's like organic. I feel in synergy inside myself. There is nothing that discuss it not to do what I do. So if I am the one or not, this for me it's not relevant.
Mm-hmm. Prichádza mi v súvislosti s týmto akceptácia. Čo si o tom myslíš? V súvislosti s tým, čo si povedala, že proste nepýtaš sa na to a akceptuješ to, dajme tomu.
An acceptance about being in the right way, doing what I am meant to be and to do. And very happy and really in total harmony in bringing it bring all the messages that are important, to bring the virtues of the plants to help us to really harmonize this complexity that we are always struggling with our own beings, and it's reflected in the others as well.
Poďme sa povenovať teraz rastlinám a využiť tvoju prítomnosť a tvoje dary na to, aby sme možno hlbšie prenikli do toho sveta rastlín. Ja som sa zúčastnila tvojho workshopu na esenciách vďaka Veronike, ktorá sa venuje tomu na Slovensku v plnom prúde. Tak vďaka Veronike som naozaj už 8 mesiacov pod vplyvom, keď to tak nazvem, esencií a tým pádom už ma nikto nepresvedčí, že tieto esencie nefungujú. A na workshope si priniesla jednu veľmi zaujímavú tému pre mňa a to je téma reciprocity. A tá otázka, kde mierim, mňa zaujíma, ako to funguje voči alebo v súvislosti ty a rastliny. O akú reciprocitu ide?
I feel that we really belong one to the other, you know. So nature is absolutely part of myself, and I'm part of nature. And I feel the flow that comes and that goes. So when I am in nature, I open myself to receive through all my channels and cells, it in print, you know, and I give my honor and respect to it in the same dimension.
Keď rozprávaš o tom rešpekte a celkové o tom, aký máte vzťah, ak to môžem vôbec nazvať vzťahom s rastlinami, tebe tie rastliny každý rok odovzdávajú odkaz pre nás ľudstvo. Sú nejaké tvoje overovacie, a teraz nemyslím overovacie v zmysle, či to naozaj takto funguje, ale či si vlastne overuješ spätne, akým spôsobom to má vplyv na tú komunitu alebo na tú spoločnosť. Akým spôsobom toto u teba prebieha?
So it's really interesting because what happens is that I read as a book, you know? So it's an invisible book. But for me, it's a visible book. Mm-hmm. So it's like I open the book and there is written which is the topic, and then I begin to develop the subtopics that contains all the information. And always when I'm grounding it, so when I'm bringing it, and generally I bring it first of all other countries to Slovakia, first of all, then to Czech Republic. Then I bring it to my country. And I check it, but not through my mental checklist, you know. I just can see that it's completely in synergy with what's coming also in the planet and what's needed.
Prečo Slovensko a Čechy sú medzi prvými?
It's where my whole being tells me to bring it. And more, first of all, in Slovakia, I feel the whole strength through bringing it here as the place where I feel the absolute reciprocity in bringing it.
Pre mňa je to veľmi zaujímavé, že Slovensko, a ja ti dám možno takú kontroverznú otázku. O Slovensku veľa ľudí tvrdí, že sú tu nízke energie, nízke vibrácie. Ako by si na toto zareagovala?
For me, Slovakia has a low vibration when you are not able to read the high frequencies, because despite there is a war happening, beside the country, for more than 1 decade, I tell people that it's one of the most safe places in the world. You have an incredible water. Incredible. It's a huge treasure, the water you have here. And I feel the high frequency, you see? And people tell me it's so heavy, it's so difficult. And I just go in flow here, like I feel lightness.
Mám veľa otázok, ale nechcem ostať pri tejto téme zrovna, pretože mi tam napadajú rôzne oblasti, ktoré by s tým mohli súvisieť. Ale pohnem sa ďalej. A rada by som to s tebou potom ešte súkromne prebrala a možno, že k tomu urobíme nejaký dodatok k rozhovoru, ale pohnem sa ďalej. Hovorí sa, že zvieratá prejavujú voči ľuďom vďačnosť, vernosť, majú charakter. Vedeli by sme nejakým spôsobom v tejto súvislosti zadefinovať niečo aj o rastlinách?
Absolutely similar. So we as a dominant species until now in the planet, we have the arrogance to think that only we feel, the animals feel, but our pets are the ones that really feel, They are the most intelligent ones. And the plants are the same.
Can you explain it more, please?
They also feel. They also interact. They help each other. So a big tree is connected. So a big tree, generally, it is a vortex that communicate with the other trees. And all the forest has a huge provider that are the fungus. They are the provider of the internet. So through them, all communication happens. And even through us, but we don't think about it. We are also full of fungus and bacteria, but this makes a web of communication through everything that is alive. And I have some friends, like trees and some plants that are long, long old friends of me. Even stones, rocks.
A teraz mi povedz jednu vec. Vegetariáni, ktorí sa pozerajú na tých mäsožravcov veľakrát s takým nadhľadom, že ako môžeme vôbec jesť zviera, ktoré cíti a my ho zabíjame. Čo taká brokolica pre vegetariánov?
Oh, the broccoli also. Please, please, please. Please, please. The point is, so we live in a planet, so this dimension in what we call the universe, because what we call the universe is just part of it. But is how we are able to understand it. We depend of eating energy, subtracts. So the problem is not if you eat meat or if you eat just vegetables. It's how men make it become a food, So there is a lot of violence towards the animals, lack of respect of how you bring it. And the plants, they are there also. It's part of their destiny to become a food. Probably it's part of our destiny to become the food of the universe, because there is a reciprocity as well in what we take and we are taken as well. But we only look from where we take. Mm-hmm. We never think about that we are also being taken by the universe. Our energy is also being eaten in some level, because we are an expression of the universe. We express through our singularity the desire of the universe, right?
Mm-hmm. Ale opäť sa teda vraciam k akceptácii, pretože akceptácia mi opäť vychádza z toho, čo si práve teraz povedala, že nie je nič zlé, nie je nič dobré, keď to porovnám napríklad, ako som načala tú tému vegetariáni a mäsožravci. Takže tá akceptácia medzi ľuďmi. A ja by som chcela využiť tvoje múdrosti teraz a spýtať sa ťa, čo je vlastne v súčasnosti problémom medziľudských vzťahov?
I think we have a huge difficulty in understanding what does it mean a relationship. It's not that nowadays, this is not new, right? So when I studied neuroscience, I received the information through the teachers that our mind, not our system anatomically, we don't change for 30,000 years. There is no change. So in reality, the relationships, they continue to be a complex dimension. But nowadays, we are free. So during, like centuries, millenniums, we were just following the rules. You could do this, you could do that. That it's even, so it has to do with the law of civilization, right? Civilization is only possible if you follow the rules. Otherwise, it's impossible. And nowadays, we are breaking the rules. In all dimensions, we are coming to a complete fragmentation in the picture about ourselves. Who are you? Are you a man, a woman, a mixture? Will be a machine, a mixture between you, a machine, a plant, a fungus? We don't know, because it's a disruptive moment of fragmentation. But if we are able to follow some very simple actions, so first action, and it doesn't matter if you are a man, a woman, a mixture of everything. Sit in your inner chair. There is an inner chair that only belongs to you. Sit inside it and learn to listen to the other. We don't listen to the other. We are all the time projecting into the other our Hollywood film, because the other is here to serve us. As our mother came to the world to serve us. So we repeat the pattern. The sun is here to serve us because the sun gives us light. So the authority that serves us is always outside of us. It's cosmic, astronomic, right? So, and we repeat it in projection to the ones that we relate ourselves to. And that's the point. The other is not here to serve you. First of all, you are here to sit in your inner chair. So first, it's simple. You just need to remember your first finger says, sit in your inner chair. The second finger will tell, listen to the other. The third finger will tell you, don't react. Give a time, breathe, and then you answer. If we are able to use it as a very simple exercise, right? I think it's possible to remember what you need to do. We will begin to give space so we are able to be, the other is able to be, and then we need to create the third element, that it's not I am the owner of the true, or the other is the owner of the true. We can go to a third element. And you know who was the one that taught me it?
No.
It was a lichen in nature. It was a small being like that are these green ground beings in the trees. This was the incredible message of this lichen. You human beings, you come from me. I am your ancestral. People think that when you are enlightened, so you cannot be vulnerable. Of course you can. One word can kill a relationship for decades. The monogamy is a rule that the civilizatory process brought to our civilization, because the same energy that brings the communication with nature is sexual energy. But now it's time to understand the field. It's time to really honor friendship. Friendship is the avatar now. We are together, we are enjoying, we don't need to speak about philosophy all the time, The paradox that we are living is COVID brought a huge separation. So people became isolated and loved to be isolated. The point is that the cannabis became a way to control and produce a lot of money under the carpet. I think it should be free, that you could have your plant at home and not depending of the terrible chemical elements that they make together. My teachers in neuroscience university, they are using, for example, the mushroom, the psychedelic mushroom, through microdoses to give for depression, schizophrenia, and several other diseases and imbalances, because the classical medicine is coming to a place where there is no possibility to heal what's happening with society. Because what's happening has to do with the need to open up our perception that it's all also in neuroscience as the spiritual brain. So I'm speaking about neuroscience. I'm not speaking about magical practices, right?
Sandra, Ďakujem ti veľmi pekne za tieto informácie a verím, že mnohí ľudia nájdú odpovede na to, čo hľadali práve prostredníctvom tohto rozhovoru a možno aj esencií. Ja ďakujem aj tebe, Veronika, za preklad, no a vám všetkým za to, že ste s nami ostali až do konca. Všetky informácie, či už o Sandre, ale takisto aj o Veronike, ktorá sa Araretamov vzdelávacím systémom zaoberá na Slovensku, sa dozviete na mojich webových stránkach www.liveslov.sk. No a pre tých, ktorí chcú vedieť čerstvé informácie z každého dňa, tak sledujte moje sociálne siete. Ja samozrejme do popisu tohto rozhovoru uvediem aj všetky odkazy, či by ste už chceli esencie vyskúšať, alebo v prípade, že ste si stále neistí a váhate, tak sa pokojne obráte aj na mňa, pretože tie esencie už niekoľko mesiacov užívam a musím vám povedať, tak ako povedala Sandra, nejde o zázraky, ale ide o to, že tieto veci sú už naozaj podložené aj vedecky. Takže všetkých ešte raz pozdravujem, majte sa krásne, užívajte si svoju jedinečnosť a na vás všetkých sa opäť teším, či už osobne alebo pri počúvaní ďalšieho rozhovoru v podcaste Talkshow.